Hey Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. I am happy to have you here with me as always. So we're going to do a reading today. It's going to be a goddess reading, and this is actually an extension of a short that I did earlier. So I was called to give you this reading today because some of us need this energy in our life, or at least need to be reminded of this energy in our life. And as well as a tarot reading, I'm also going to be sharing with you my goddess bath soak recipe. So I am going to go ahead and make it. I will show you the ingredients and you can make it yourself at home. And I will put up a picture of what it looks like, and then I will show you how to make that. So I hope that sounds lovely. I love this bath soak. I actually used it yesterday. Sometimes energy just comes across us and it's not ours. It's not ours to hold. It's not ours to manage. We just need to transmute it and release it. So this bath soak that I created was to help remind me of that. Anytime that I feel that something is kind of just, it has overcome me and my energy, I use this bath soak to release that. It's also great for a new moon, which is today, the 25th of June, and it's in Cancer. So this is a great time to do a bath soak. It is new beginnings, it is fresh new energy, and it helps to, again, just release something that might feel like it is stuck, all right? Especially if it is heavy. And I definitely felt that yesterday. Something came across and it just wanted to linger for a while, and it was heavy. I don't know how else to put that. So today's reading is going to be a lot different because it is so much brighter energy and more peaceful. It's just more beautiful. So it feels like there was some kind of funk that came over us. And maybe this didn't affect all of you. Maybe it just affected me. But whatever this was, I was able to release it, transmute it, and bring it back into the earth so that it can be transmuted into love. So these cards came out today in my short. The first one that we got was Abundantia, which is prosperity. So it says the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So I want to clarify this a little bit because what I dealt with yesterday, it feels like when you're in that heavy energy, you can't be open to receiving new energy because there's still something that's like stuck that needs to go. So that's what being open to receiving means. If you have still something in your life that is lingering, that's not serving you, whether it be relationships, jobs, just old ways of thinking, anything, we might be blocking our abundance, okay? So that was why I was called to share with you this bath soak, because it helps to release anything that's there, okay? The next one we got is Lakshmi. So this is bright future, and it says, stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. This is like such a beautiful reminder that so many of us need. I feel almost on a regular basis, right? I don't often get real people in my life that, just kind of say this kind of stuff to me. I have to say it to myself, and occasionally you need a goddess to show up and be like, look, we got you. You don't have to worry. It's gonna be fine. Then we have Irene, which is peace. And then this is another card that says, there is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. So whatever it is that we are worrying about right now, or whatever this dense energy is that has wanted to it feels almost like an attack, but I wouldn't call it an attack. What it feels like is, and I said this in the last reading because I was very heavy in it. I almost didn't even want to do that last reading because of that feeling that had overcome me. And I said, are we sure we want to do this reading right now? Is this a good time? I was assured that it was, and it was something that needed to be worked through. So that being said, sometimes things come over us and it feels like hopeless or dark, dense, heavy. We can't manage it. The thing is those are meant to come over us so that we can feel our way through it. Once we have dealt with it and let it go, this is when this beautiful new energy can come in. Now, the other thing that I also want to speak about here that came out is setting up boundaries. So it says your energy is valuable, protect it well. So this is strength, boundaries, and amulet. That is another thing that we need to be mindful of. It's good to go out there with this beautiful, bright energy within ourselves, but also we need to be aware of encountering individuals that may seek to dim it, to take it, to whatever, right? Those are the times we need to set up our boundaries and protect our beautiful energy, because the world needs that from us at this time, very much so. So I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me. I was asked to restring someone's mala, and it was black stone. So I don't know if it was obsidian or if it was black tourmaline, but this mala was used in spiritual practices, and it contained some heavy, dense energy within it. And as soon as I touched it, I felt all of that. So whatever protections this other individual were using in their spiritual practice against sort of, the spiritual work of everyone else that they were working with, it was contained in that necklace. And as soon as I started handling it and touching it, and again, I was just removing the old string and putting a new one in because it was kind of overstretched and needed to be restrung. All of that energy from that mala felt like it found a new host, which was me in that moment. And I felt so many dark, dense, heavy energies come over me all of a sudden. And again, it's very much a lesson in boundaries. Now, we may put boundaries up in our life towards people, but guess what? Be careful when you're handling someone else's stuff as well, because objects carry energy, very much so. So if you are using something like this as like an amulet to protect yourself, it does absorb energy. And it does need to be cleared and cleansed frequently, especially if you know that the people or situations or job, whatever that you are around, is that dark, dense energy. Okay? Now, one way to do it is with selenite. Okay? I have many different forms of this. I have it in a heart. I have it in a wand. These are 3 different versions of selenite that I carry around with me. And all you have to do is either just kind of do this around it, or you can just kind of lay it next to it there for some period of time until you feel it's cleansed. Okay? Another good protective crystal that you can carry is smoky quartz. So it looks very much like clear quartz, only it has just kind of a slight darker tint to it. And you'll find this in various shades. Like it almost has like a brown hue to it. Okay? Like here's another one. It's harder to tell in these ones, but if you look at it compared to a clear quartz, you can see the difference. So I actually put this all over my house, and I also keep it in the spare bedroom where like a guest might sleep, and that is mostly because I don't want their negative stuff coming in and seeping into my home. I also will sage the house after someone leaves if they are staying with me. So I just wanted to go into that a little bit because people ask sometimes how to clear your energy, how to protect your energy. So when it comes to shapes, I love hearts. Hearts to me represent love, and really you could use any crystal to help you with that. But hearts just speak to me mostly. So when you're doing an amulet and you're wearing it, you can actually hold the crystal in your hand and tell it what you want it to do. So if you are going to use this obsidian heart and wear it in an amulet, you can just kind of press it between your palms here and speak whatever intention into it that you want. And you can just say, please protect me, alert me to anything that's in my energy that I need to know about, blah, 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 stuff like that. So say whatever you're going to say to it and then mean it, right? Wear it and cleanse it often. That's the only thing I'm going to say. All right, so let's jump more into this reading because I also wanted to show you the bottoms of the decks on these because those are also meaningful to me. So underneath this one, we have Goddess of the Sea. And again, abundance, purification, ego. It's time to come home. Now, this card has this kind of ocean that's going into the heart space. And when we're talking about coming home and water energy, I love this because that's Cancer. That's Cancerian energy. And we are in this new moon in Cancer. So there's also water in this card, water in this card. There's a lot of very watery energy right now, and it's gonna show up as emotions. Okay, so you might just feel overly emotional, but just remember that it's coming up for release. Okay? So it feels like we're purifying something. And that's kind of, you can almost think of it as water is very purifying, whether it's coming through as your tears, whether it's in a shower, a bath, whatever it is, water is very purifying. Over here we have this butterfly maiden, which is transformation. So it says you are experiencing enormous change right now, but it's going to bring great blessings. And we have that up here, right? We have abundance on this card. We have abundance on this card. Blessings, bright future, prosperity. This is beautiful energy. So if it feels like you can't see the horizon line of where this is in your life right now, then that just means that we're purifying something and we're transforming something. You might be a caterpillar or, in the cocoon right now, in the chrysalis, in the goo phase, which means you don't even know what's going on. You're still in the midst of transforming. So if you can't see this yet on the horizon, just know that it is very close. And again, as the video that I just posted said, you might feel like you're in some sort of void space. That's okay, right? We just need to trust very much at this time that this is what we're going to see when we come out of our cocoon. It's beautiful energy. All right, we're going to get into the tarot. And we'll keep going here. Can you tell me more about this beautiful energy for the collective, please, with this new moon in Cancer? We have Temperance. I love it. So we are being asked to have patience, right? Not everything happens overnight, but we're also being called to go slow and don't overexert ourselves. This is balance. This is like when we know when to rest, when to charge forward, that sort of thing. The Six of Swords. Yep. This is about getting away from stuff that doesn't serve us. So again, this is what we're being called to do right now. So if you are definitely feeling like you're in this heavy, dense energy, we're being asked to get away from that, however that looks to you. So if it's setting boundaries, if it's processing the emotions that come along with it, whatever this looks like for you in your life, in your situation, in your journey, it's coming up so that you can get out of it. Okay? It's not yours to carry. The bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. I love this. Again, more watery energy. We're pouring our love into ourselves. I'm going to put this down. All right, what else do we have, please, for the beautiful collective out there? Thank you. The Five of Wands. All right. So there may be some battle, some conflict. 5 is always change. This is patience again. So this may show up in a various amount of ways. Okay, so let's first talk about an internal way, because the bottom of the deck card in this deck was ego. So if this is internal, you may feel like opposition from your ego. Anytime you are about to change, especially if it is a big, major change in your life, your ego is going to step in and be like, wait a minute, this is uncomfortable. I don't like this. And so what they might try to do is fight you on it, or try to convince you that whatever you're doing is not healthy, it's not the right way. Let's go back to comfort. Let's go back to where it's safe, right? In this boat, you're like, I literally saw the choppy waters back there. It's no fun. I don't want to be in it. We got to go. And your ego is going to try to fight you to be like, no, but that was comfortable. You knew what that was. Whereas these new fresh waters here, we don't know what that feels like. We don't know that energy yet. So it's uncomfortable. But change is always uncomfortable. And again, going back to the bottom of the deck here with the butterfly, you might be in this chrysalis, this cocoon phase at this time, and you might feel uncomfortable. Your ego might try to convince you that going back is the safer option. But you are being led out of this for a reason. Now, if this is external, because let's talk about that, because that could also be occurring in some of your lives. If this energy is external, this could be jobs, relationships, friendships, whatever energy that doesn't want you to go. Very similar to your ego. You can almost think of these external people as like your ego. You're setting up boundaries. You're like, hey, I finally have the strength to leave a situation and I'm setting firm boundaries. People are going to try to convince you that it's not right what you're doing. Maybe they'll lay guilt trips on you. Maybe they'll try to convince you to stay. They might even fight you and make it uncomfortable for you to want to leave. So whatever this looks like for you, whether it's internal or external or both, you're going to fight through this, right? You have the upper hand. That's what I'm being told here. Like, you don't have to worry. Stop worrying. Make sure that you exert your strength, okay? And this may not mean, like, I'm not saying go brawling, go out in like a battle royale. Don't do that. But you do have strength within you, and people see that. And they may try to convince you that you're not strong, and that by setting these boundaries is absurd or something, you know? So you have to almost fight yourself to get through this, and fight other people to keep going. But you got this. You're going to do whatever you need to do to keep going, because your energy is valuable and you are being asked to set these boundaries in place and protect it. And again, this may make some people unhappy. Even your ego is going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, that one, it still came out, so that's patience. You have already planted the seeds for whatever this is that you're moving towards, this bright future and this prosperity. And now you're just being asked to be patient as you trudge through these waters so that you can get to this peaceful, calm, beautiful place. All right, let's get one more. Thank you, the King of Cups. You are also mastering your emotions, your intuition. I was going to say intellect. That would be the King of Swords. So maybe you're getting smarter about how these people are showing up. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom. It's like, man, I got this. I'm golden, right? You have this prosperity, this bright future, and this is you potentially standing by yourself because you're not trying to fight anybody to stay in your life, right? You're almost just letting them go. If they want to go, let them go. I'm not going to fight you anymore to stay. I'm not going to fight for your attention, for your love. I'm going to give myself this love that I need. And then if you want to follow me, you need to respect my boundaries and rise up to meet me where I'm at, because I can't go backwards. That's you in this boat here going, I've already been back there. It's no fun. I got to keep moving. I got to go find clearer waters, right? And that's what these waters back here feel like. It's not even in this, there's so much water in these pictures here. This is like a boat marina. It's pretty chill, calm waters. There is like a giant fish back there. But we have water here in the Temperance card. We have water in the Ace of Cups. Water in the Six of Swords. Then we have fire and earth energy. But all these waters are calm. They're serene. They're not choppy. They're not treacherous. It feels like this is such a time of peace. And it's like, finally. And so many of you are just done with whatever this was back here. It did not serve you well. You knew it didn't serve you well. And if you didn't know then, you know now. And this is where those boundaries are going to come into place. All right, let's keep going. All right, I am going to jump into this new deck. I used this with the elemental readings. So we're going to do Visions of the Soul. These are meditation and portal cards. So this is going to help you open up to whatever it is that you need to open up at this time. So with this new moon in Cancer, what does the collective need to see, need to feel, need to experience right now? All right, we got these two. We have Creator Gateway Chakra. What a beautiful image. This literally feels like this glowing person, which is you, and this brightness that's coming off of you. And I'm going to tell you what, this is why people don't want you to leave their life. You may not be able to see this within yourself, but other people can see it. And that's why these energy vampires come in and they're like, ooh, you got that good stuff. Can I have some? So I'm going to read a little bit about this in the book, but just this image is so beautiful. It's like you are just exuding this beautiful, bright, radiating light and energy. And people can see you like a moth to a flame. And what I'm getting is that, with this Ace of Cups, now it's time for you to see this within yourself. All right, let's see what this other card is. We have Soul Star Chakra. It's also a beautiful card. I love the imagery on these cards. We have the Flower of Life up here. A lot of spirals, some wings. And again, going back to that butterfly card, you are sprouting wings at this time. It's like you're weaving light. You're like a light weaver. That's what I'm getting here. You are creating something beautiful with your energy. And that's why these people want some of it. They have not created it for themselves, and you have, and they want it. At the bottom of the deck here, we have higher consciousness. So I see 3 faces here. And again, this very much feels like it's upward, so we are tapping into our spirit connection. All right, this crystal right here is called celestite, which is also this one. So that's what it looks like in its raw form. This is what it looks like when it's tumbled. These are a great stone to connect to your spirit realm, your angels, the celestials that are around you. All right, let's do a little reading, and we'll see what these cards have to say. Okay, we're going to start with this one. So the colors that they want you to focus on in this one are gold, ultraviolet, infrared, white, and silver. The geometry is Merkaba. This is universal energy, grid of light, oneness, source, and co-creation. You are expanding into the awareness of oneness, not only with all life, but with source. You are an aspect of source, ever growing, ever expanding towards the light from which you were birthed. As source birthed you into being and created all that is, you can now tap into the same power and co-create your own world. The grid of creation are being realigned in order to birth a new reality in the cosmos. Use this card to maintain your connection to source and understand the forces of the cosmos and your oneness with all. With this card, you are able to step into your God self aspect and fully grasp your role in the web of life. Wow. All right, let's get over to this other one. So this is your soul star chakra, so that's number 11. The colors here are white, gold, pink, blue, indigo, and ultraviolet. The geometry is also Merkaba. So this stands for divine love, spiritual awakening, supreme wisdom, and compassion. You are connected to divine love. Through this chakra, the light and energy of the divine is channeled through your crown chakra, where it is then radiated through your physical and etheric bodies. This energy fuels your soul's growth now, fully supporting it on its path of spiritual awakening and divine purpose. By tapping into this energy, you will be shown the oneness of all that is. The ease and grace of being will awaken within you a greater understanding of the path on which humanity now embarks. This understanding will compel you to reach a level of compassion for all that is, has been, and will be, which you may at first find overwhelming. But as you stay focused on your own path and follow intuitive guidance, you will be shown how to translate this compassion into constructive ways that you can assist others. Wow. So what this made me feel like is, with this feeling of overwhelmingness, this is kind of what I call empath overload. And so as we feel so deeply into things, again, especially with this new moon and Cancer energy, Cancers feel deeply, they're a water sign. The thing with that is if we just feel so deeply everything, it can be very overwhelming. And that's where putting up our boundaries is going to be important. So learning the value of feeling deeply, but while also protecting your energy and putting your boundaries up, is where we are exerting this balance, right? It's like we're not going to entirely be just in our feelings, and we're not entirely going to block everything out. We have to find this balance in the middle of, I can feel things deeply, but I can also set my boundaries firmly so that I don't get overwhelmed in the process. So it feels like that's one of the things that we're learning here. We're also letting go of the worry. Everything is coming to you as it should. Everything is working out beautifully. So worry, it's like reminding me of like a coal. Why are we worrying? Great worry over nothing is coming to me as well. Okay. I don't know where that was going. They were showing me a lump of coal. I know that we can like compress coal and turn it into diamond, but we wouldn't be worrying to do that. Maybe it's, okay, there's the clarity. Maybe it's that if we do compress, it's like we're worrying over when that diamond's gonna appear. Okay, so that's your abundance and your prosperity. When is that diamond gonna show up? I've been doing all this work. When's it gonna show up? Yeah, this is you sitting here with your bags going, when's that coming? Like that's what I'm seeing and feeling. It's a very interesting feeling. All right. So I am going to get into the Goddess Bath Soak, and I'll put this right here at the end of the reading. I hope you enjoyed the card portion of it. I am just going to give you the recipe, what it looks like, and we will just do a quick montage of how I make it. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is my way of making it. I do it my own way. I find heart-shaped crystals because that's very important to me. Rose quartz is a good one. Selenite is a good one. Labradorite is a good one. I also use amethyst. Those are the main crystals that I use when I make this blend. And you can also find anything that invokes self-love for you. Again, heart-shaped crystals to me equals love. And I will even use tarot cards or goddess cards in making it. So I'll find like the High Priestess card if that's what I'm looking to invoke into the energy of the blend. I will find the Empress card if that's what I'm looking for. You might look for the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups. You could really just tie into whatever energy you're looking to invoke. Okay, so if you're looking for this prosperity or this bright future or peace, you could put any of these goddess oracle cards in there. You could even put the name around it. So I just get myself a big bowl and I make sure to cleanse everything. So I am cleansing the utensils that I'm using. So if it's the bowl I'm using, I'm cleansing that. If it's the container, the receptacle that I'm using, I cleanse that. And I am running out. So this right here is all I have left. And I use this big jar. So I have to cleanse this jar before I start to put my blend in. But I had this mostly full, and this is all that's left of it because I've been using it a lot. So cleanse your space, cleanse yourself, cleanse your utensils, your tools. And then as you build this blend, you're going to put your hands over it and you are going to put your intentions on it. Now, I put Reiki into it, so that is Reiki healing energy. If you are Reiki attuned, you can do that as well. But I also allow the crystals to speak for themselves. Let the energy of the crystals put that into this blend, okay? As well as the goddess energy, as well as the Empress, the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups energy. So whatever energy you're looking to put into it, I lay the cards around the outside of it and I let it sit there for a good amount of time. Okay? I also do it in a sacred space. That's very important to me as well. I need to cleanse the space, put the stuff down, mix everything. I'll even get my hands in there and start to blend it up with my hands, because again, that's a different way to put my energy into it as well. So when you're all finished, put it in the jar, and then when you go to take your bath, there is a beautiful ritual that I have, and I will post that for you as well. The beautiful ritual involves lighting some candles, putting some of those crystals out that you just used to imbibe the energy into your blend, and to just relax. As you get out of the bath after you are finished, you could even say a little ritual for yourself and allow the energy that was stuck and stagnant to go down the drain, be released from you, and for it to be transmuted back into the earth with love. You're also calling in fresh new energy, which is why this goddess blend is beautiful for doing on a new moon, because you are releasing something that wasn't serving you, that was stuck, stagnant, is now being transmuted and going back into the earth. And now you are inviting brand new, beautiful energy to come in. When you get out of the bath, you are going to feel refreshed. You are going to feel lighter, like as though that heaviness isn't stuck on you anymore, especially if it's someone else's energy. Now, if it's something that you need to process out, understand that that may stay, because you're being asked not to ignore it, but to sit with it for a little while and then let it go. So if you still feel heaviness after this bath, pay attention to what the heaviness is, where it's coming from. Ask yourself what you need to do to process it out. All right, so that is all I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. Make sure you fill your own cup up with love before you fill someone else's. Go within so you never go without. Keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light, here to help guide you through the darkness. And I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. Take care, everyone, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.